Of all the gangs and organizations that have fought for power and control over Pokémon World, perhaps none are as renowned as that of Team Rocket. Founded on the quite human desires for wealth and power, seeing Pokémon as mere means to this end. The organization that would eventually become Team Rocket was founded by a woman known only as Madame Boss. She relied on an army of agents to acquire Pokémon, both rare and common, that she could bring to market. As the cash flowed in, her organization developed an extensive reach, growing beyond the Pokémon trade into both research and development and less than legal pursuits. Above all of this, she would come to obsess over the acquisition of what she believed to be the world's most powerful Pokémon, Mew, believing it would secure in perpetuity her power and status. Her plans ultimately ended in failure and in the death of one of her closest friends. Devastated, she withdrew from the organization she had built, and in her place her 17-year-old son Giovanni assumed the position of team boss. He expanded the organization beyond anything his mother had dreamed, recruiting gym leaders, regional champions, and scientists from across the globe. Perhaps the greatest of his new efforts was a vast cloning project headed by a Dr. Fuji, the goal of which was to create a living clone of Mew. In order to meet such ambitious goals, expeditions were sent across the planet, seeking fossils and genetic fragments. They ultimately proved unable to collect a complete genetic sample, and it would only be through the actions of a brash researcher adding their own DNA into the mixture that a new Pokémon would be created. Dubbed Mewtwo, it was a failure per the program's guidelines, yet Giovanni saw an opportunity to use this new asset, utilizing its psychic potential to vastly increase the number of captured Pokémon and its combat prowess to increase his own personal prestige as a gym leader. Yet no thought was given to this creature's will, a mistake that would be to Team Rocket's detriment. Unwilling to be a slave, Mewtwo violently broke with its creators, destroying the lab of its birth, destroying invaluable machinery, and disappearing into the broader world. In response, Team Rocket increased their activity throughout the Kanto region, deploying their loyal gym leaders to capture the local legendary bird Pokémon, their grunts occupying Mount Moon to secure access to the mountain's unique fossils, using them to bankroll further operations. They engaged in petty crime and even experimented with radio wave-induced Pokémon evolution. All of this added to Team Rocket's notoriety, and this increased notoriety saw elements of the international police deployed to track down and eliminate the organization. They suffered a significant setback when their base beneath Celadon City was raided, their grunts arrested, and their stockpile of Pokémon seized. In response, Team Rocket invaded and occupied the Sylph corporate headquarters, in the hopes of pressuring the company into supplying the newly produced Master Ball, a device capable of capturing any Pokémon, exclusively to Team Rocket. This operation would fail, with Team Rocket being driven off by a previously unknown local trainer. Feeling the pressure, Giovanni would retreat to his gym in Viridian City, ordering a number of his underlings to the Sevi Islands, and realizing his own situation was untenable, Giovanni would sneak away, police forces finding his gym abandoned. The remainder of Team Rocket, suddenly leaderless and directionless, would begin to collapse. Those that had been sent to the Sevi Islands rallied around a former executive named Archer. He refused to give up on Team Rocket or on Giovanni, and he led his forces in seeking out precious metals and jewels rumored to litter the islands, before eventually leading his forces to Johto. There, they would slowly expand their efforts, kidnapping and selling the tails of slowpokes, established a trickle of income that they used to help finance and ultimately bring to fruition their program of radio-induced evolution, all in the hopes that they could easily sell these fully evolved Pokemon for more money. In each of these areas, they would face resistance from locals, including the champion of the Pokemon League. These repeated defeats would lead to desperation, and in that desperation, Team Rocket took over the Goldenrod City radio tower in the hopes of spreading the word of their return, and hoping above all else that Giovanni would return to the organization and lead it back to the height of its power. They would again be defeated. But more than this, they were met with silence. Giovanni had not come back. In light of this fact, many left the organization, and those who remained suffered for a time as various would-be leaders vied for control. Their influence was so reduced that to the public at large, Team Rocket had finally been disbanded. However, all may not yet be lost for Team Rocket, as recent rumors have begun to circulate that in distant Alola, there is a man in a dark blazer with a rainbow-colored R emblazoned on his breast pocket, gathering to himself like-minded individuals.